Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to throw all the usual 3 Monday Gems of War videos at you in one go. There are definitely pros and cons to both methods, and you will be able to jump to each section in this video, depending upon what you're after. Usually I'll do the Soulforge video around about 11 AM UK time, and then the event video around about 1 PM, which would usually have the Underspire team mingled in there as well, or sometimes separately. But the thing with that is you have to stagger each video. You have to wait to release each one because you don't want to override the next one so quickly, even though they're pretty much made at a very similar time. The advantage of this is you get everything at once and you can jump to whatever you need. But we'll have a look, because obviously the combined views of 3 different videos may be different from the amount of views a single one gets with everything combined, because I don't know. We'll have a look and see how it goes. But starting off with the Soulforge video, we will pop into there and also take a look at the weekly glory troop and see what we make of this. Free booty, that's not bad, is it? Anyway, deals magic +2 damage to an enemy and gains 1 treasure map. Happy days. Then summon a parrot. A parrot is not actually too bad a troop, to be honest. It's nothing spectacular, but it's a parrot. All rogues gain 2 life, gain 2 bonus gold on 4 to 5 gem matches, and 25% chance to summon a parrot when I die. So not bad. Chance of a summon when it casts and does damage. And you gain a treasure map. And she's giving out free booty. What's not to like about that? That's a okay 5 out of 10 for you. So as ever, grab as many of these up to mythic to get her to mythic level. There we go. We'll have some of that. Thank you very much. Free booter. Alright. Right, anyway, she's got a 5 out of 10. I do like to pick up the spoils of war at the same time. Thank you very much. Anyway, as I get older, I remember some of the people I lost along the way. Maybe a career as a tour guide wasn't the best of choices. Right, let's pop into the Soulforge and see what's going on in there. We'll start with the weapons first, as usual. I'm not going to go over all the weapons that are here on a regular basis. They're in my Soulforge extra video, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. But first up, we have Frost Sword. Dealing magic-based damage to the first enemy and deal triple damage if they use red mana. So, good against red enemies. One of the cheap ones to get as well, a mere 75 diamonds, so not too bad. Next up we have Ocean's Protector. Eliminate all armor from an enemy, then gain life equal to armor eliminated, and submerge all allies. So, on some of those events where the enemy can have massive amounts of armor, then this is a great weapon for that kind of thing, because you eliminate all the armor at once, effectively doing the same amount of damage, and gaining life equal to that amount eliminated, and submerge all allies too. So, very good against a damage to all team as well, because when you submerge yourself, you basically are hiding from those damage to all troops. So yeah, decent weapon that in certain situations. Captain's Cutlass deals magic based damage to an enemy boosted by rogue allies, then create a mix of 6 blue and red gems for each rogue ally. So obviously you have to have all rogue allies to make the most of this. This does use purple and brown, creates blue and red, so make sure those rogue allies do use some blue and red to make the most of that lovely mana. Flintlock of Blackhawk. Remove all blue gems with no effect, they're just taken away like they didn't exist. Then deal magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by the amount of gems removed. If the enemy is from Blackhawk, if the battle is in Blackhawk, deal double damage. So this is kind of the anti-Blackhawk weapon in a way. You're taking away the colour they like the most, making it difficult for them to charge their troops. So certainly good in those kind of situations. The Pirate's Signet. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by Blackhawk allies, then create a mix of 6 blue and red gems for each Blackhawk ally. So pretty similar to that other weapon. This one uses purple and brown, generates blue and red. So again, make sure at least a couple of those Blackhawk allies use blue and red. Otherwise you're making that mana just for a laugh. And you're not doing it for a laugh, you're doing it to charge your troops. What do we got next? Doomed Chris. Deals damage to the last enemy boosted by purple gems. If they have a doom, deal double damage. There's a 3% chance per tempering level to kill the enemy. Not really a fan of these kind of weapons. Even at the maximum level, plus 10, that's still barely, barely a 1 in 3 chance to kill the enemy. Not a fan of it. So yeah, there's much better doomed weapons out there. So that one's more collectible than anything. And at 900 diamond cost, it's something that can inevitably wait. Doom's Pistol. Deal true damage to an enemy. If Bonnie Rose is on my team, gain 40 gold. So true damage is good. If Bonnie's on your team, gain some gold at the same time. So pretty situational there. And what else we got? Ruben McCarthy's obviously great. Wonder Star's obviously great. Get them if you got the resources. And we have Backstabber. But don't get it from here. Get it from the event shop, because much better to get these kind of weapons with gems than it is to spend your hard-earned diamonds on this. And basically you'll pick up tiers and other stuff from the event shop at the same time. So it's a bit wasteful to get it from here. Does damage to the first 2 enemies boosted by rogue allies. Simple but effective in the right situation. Right, let's pop onto the troops now and see what is going on there. The same deal as before. I'm not going to go over the troops that are here all the time. They're in my Soulforge extra video as well. But if you're a newer player, certainly pop through these summoning stones, have a little look around, see if there's anybody decent in here you haven't got. Like Balder. If you haven't got Balder, then he's pretty much an essential troop. Creates 4 skulls boosted by blue allies. Absolutely amazing troop. Can cause absolute skull mayhem in an all blue team. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Centurion and Balder, for me, are simply the best glory troops we've ever had. They're both absolutely fantastic. Really, really good. Absolutely great stuff from Baldy there. As I say, have a quick look through, see if anybody comes out who's particularly good. Fornessa can be annoying. Does damage to an enemy equal to their attack, and then give magic +1 life to all allies, boosted by damage dealt, and starts battles with full mana. So it can be effective, especially in some PvP teams where the enemy or whatever's got like massively boosted attack. Wisp is one of the most underrated for me. Dispel all enemies, charm an enemy, jumble the board, gain an extra turn, start battles with 75% mana, stealthy. In the right team, that's actually very effective. I might show some teams on that in the future, because a lot of people see Wisp and they just think it's useless, but it's actually very good when used properly. Savage Hunter. Another good one to pick up here. Damage to an enemy. No, deal damage with a 50% chance to hit the wrong enemy, so you're not guaranteed to hit you intended. If the enemy uses green, deal triple damage. The good thing about this is, using this against an all green team, doesn't matter if it hits the wrong enemy. Yeah, you prefer it if you hit the one you aimed at, but you're still going to get triple damage no matter what. And deal double skull damage versus green enemies, and place Hunter's Mark on enemies when doing skull damage, which is double skull damage. And you get that toxic hatred at the same time. Absolutely fantastic against green teams. Right, so let's pop down to the mythics and see who we've got first. We have the Archduke. Does damage to an enemy with a percentage chance equal to your magic to destroy them. Just kill them outright. If they die, summon a Lemur. Obviously the summon part is only good if you've lost a troop already, so it's not that great in that kind of way. And indeed, even at my magic level, it's still less than a 50-50 chance to kill them. But if you can boost its magic, then it can be actually a very effective quick killer. And does gain 3 magic when my turn begins. So if you don't mind the long game in some of them battles, then your magic will go up 3 every single turn, basically increasing the chance to get those instant kills. So not amazing, but not diabolical either. That was Zama. Very, very good troop indeed. This is one of the troops you hardly ever see me use, but don't judge troops just on the fact you don't see me use it, because this is a great troop. It just doesn't always fit in with my play style or what I want to do against any given team. But deals magic-based scatter damage boosted by a chosen gem colour, except yellow. Then create 10 yellow gems and remove all gems of the chosen colour. So very good for a mana gem. And summons a light storm at the start of battle. That really helps its spell, because that's yellow. And has a 20% chance to resurrect itself with full mana when it dies. So yeah, great troop, even if you don't see me use it very often. Phoenicia. This great troop full stop. Deals magic +1 damage to all enemies, boosted by red gems and burning enemies. And if there's a firestorm, deal double damage. You can force a firestorm very easily in Sunspear with this. It creates a firestorm at the start of every turn, which is really good for her spell. Really good for her, helps charge her up and does that double damage at the same time. And a 50% chance to burn a random enemy at the start of my turn is good. And she's just one of the best early player troops because, yeah, she'll carry you a long way. And I still use her now and again today as well. She's one of those troops which so far has lasted the test of time in Gems of War. So Phoenicia, absolutely fantastic troop. Who else we got? Infernus, dealing splash damage to 2 random enemies and explode 5 random gems. So the splash damage can be effective. The explode random gems can generate a decent amount of mana and does burn all enemies on 4 or 5 gem matches. That's kind of one of his main uses now, is to get that easy burn when you want to burn all the enemies really quickly to increase the damage on a certain team and things like that. So yeah, Infernus. Not quite the absolute powerhouse he used to be. Was that it? Infernus, Phoenicia, yeah, Capote's Armor and Archduke. So let's go over the legendaries ever so quickly. I just saw something good here. A few good things. Tesla should basically be a mythic, not just a mythic, like a mega mythic. She's absolutely amazing and one of the best troops in the game, including mythics. It sounds bad when you first read it. Deal 8 true scatter damage, just like 8 really, boosted by all ally and enemy armor. Yeah, all ally and enemy armor. So the stronger the enemy, the more this works against them. And give 2 attack and armor to all allied mechs when matching 4 or more gems. And gain 2 armor on 4 or 5 gem matches is okay. But yes, all about that spell and the fact that the harder the enemy, the stronger the enemy, the more armor they've got, the more it works against them. She's absolutely deadly. Let's just get Tesla. Like, the mythics are good. Obviously get the mythics if you can. But if you've got enough diamonds, then absolutely get Tesla, because she is fantastic. And another good thing as well is just seeing Holy St. Astra down here. This is a really, really nice pairing. Holy St. Astra is a divine human and gives all human allies a 50% start with mana. And there's a perfect pairing with Tesla. I'm going to be doing part 2 on my perfect pairs series soon. And she gives magic +1 life and armor to all allies, creates a light storm and enchants all humans. So that life and armor increases the armor of the team, increasing Tesla's output. Tesla would start with a 50% mana start anyway because she's human as well. And gets enchanted at the same time. So you can cast Tesla, cast Holy St. Astra and do it again really quickly with a even bigger boost. Absolutely superb pairing, and yeah, Holy St. Astra, really good. King Mikhail, explode a rogue, getting mana, deal magic based damage to all enemies and deal 9 more damage if I'm enraged. And he can get enraged really easily because he gains enraged simply by matching Brown, and gains 3 to all skills if in first position. So yeah, decent troop when in the right situation and team. King Silenus, magic based splash damage to an enemy, boosted by wild folk allies, and steal 1 magic from all enemies affected by my spell, then burn them all. And wild folks start with 50% too, as well as being impervious. So some really nice troops here overall, some really nice legendaries, and some nice mythics at the same time. But who gets my mythic of the week? It's not going to be the Archduke. Not going to be the Archduke. It needs a bit of a magic boost to get that more of a chance of getting that quick kill. And Capote's Armor is very, very good, just doesn't suit my play style that much, even though other people would absolutely love it, and it is an excellent troop all around. Phoenicia, of course, is in with a very big shout, and Infernus, not quite the powerhouse he used to be. So it does go to Phoenicia. Oops, absolutely fantastic troop. Dealing magic +1 damage to all enemies, boosted by red gems, and burning enemies. And if there's a firestorm, deal double damage, and you can force that firestorm very easily in Sunspear class, thus guaranteeing that double damage. So Phoenicia gets my mythic of the week. Next up we have Invasion. Now you must use the event captain, the red corsair, in your team to get ×2 magic and ×2 score. So really important to do that. Must have her in the team no matter what. And you get her from the shop at tier 2, so absolutely essential to buy tiers 1 and 2. You're going to want to do that anyway, because at tier 1 you get the Potion of Enchantment. Enchants all allies at the start of battle for this event only. But you also pick up other stuff which is useful too, like extra gold and more event sigils. Tier 2 you pick up the Red Corsair, absolutely guaranteed, really good. Doing damage to an enemy boosted by treasure maps, and if they're a tower, deal 3 to 5 times damage based on your ascensions, and gain a treasure map, which basically means the damage will go up every single time she casts, which is Okay, and Siegebreaker is good, but it's only good if you have her up top. I prefer to have her at the bottom for safety, make sure she consistently does that damage. And High Ancestry is pretty handy too, so we'll have her in the team. And at tier 3, always good to pick up a new weapon. Backstabber is at tier 3, dealing damage to the first 2 enemies boosted by rogue allies. Could be good for this event, but I've got a few other ideas instead. But to get your Red Corsair to mythic level, you can do it one of 2 different ways. You can either buy enough tiers to guarantee you get enough copies of her to get her to mythic level, or you can simply buy tier 2, then go and use 2 Orbs of Ascensions to get her to mythic level that way, which is what I did. So let's show a team and a couple of options. Now you can change it around. Now this is a really good way to start with this: King's Dagger, Red Charlotte, Atlanta and Red Corsair. But if you have the Ruby Macaque as the weapon, then just use it, because it's going to just take you through pretty much the whole event, pretty much kind of on its own in a way. The Ruby Macaque, where is it? It's down here somewhere. There we go. So true damage to all enemies, create 3 booty gems, explode gems. It can often self-charge and just do it again straight away, and with that damage being true damage, it's going to do you really good. So it's like, that will help charge up the other troops at the same time. Now I've got Red Charlotte in the team already, but we're not going to actually use her at first. She's basically in the team to just move up to first place when the towers start appearing. When you start getting 3 or 4 towers at a time, just pop her into first place. And providing you got that 3rd trait, Siegebreaker, she'll deal 3 to 5 times skull damage versus towers based on her ascensions, as well as do the extra damage just via her spells. We'll have 2 Siegebreakers, and one of them doing all that skull damage at the same time. It's just going to obliterate those towers when they all appear. But first of all, there's not a lot of value to her being in first place, so just stick in the mana generator dagger in first place and make sure you get first dibs on the brown, because she does hog the brown otherwise. You can swap Atlanta for Captain Saltclaw if you prefer as well. A very decent troop, dealing heavy splash damage to 2 random enemies, boosted by blue gems. And he has Captain's Orders, which is good as well. Give 2 magic to all rogue allies when matching 4 or more gems. So it is a good way to go. You can even swap Red Charlotte for Captain Saltclaw at first, and then bring in Red Charlotte later on when the towers start appearing. But yeah, like I say, Ruby Macaque, really good for this, but let's roll with this team first. Exploding magic +1 blue gems, giving a random status effect to all rogues, and summoning a rogue. That's our mana generator. It's going to charge up Atlanta. She'll do damage to all enemies, just knock them all straight out of there, and we can pick off stragglers with the Red Corsair and Red Charlotte. And remember, we get enchant on all these as well because of that first tier from the shop. Class for this, you can go Corsair, but I prefer Archer class for this. 1 life for each green ally doesn't really count. Start battles with 50% mana though is very nice indeed, as is a 15% chance for skull damage to be lethal, but you must have the hero on top for that, otherwise it will not count. And other cool stuff like Hunt is good. Knife throwing, gain 2 magic if using a dagger, which we are. Root trap, always nice to have that first troop entangled. Safe from skulls, backup, not bad at all. Gale force, all yellow allies gain 2 attack, that's good for our hero. Dodge, 30% chance to dodge skull damage. And Thieves Guild, all rogues gain 1 magic on 4 or 5 of a kind. So yeah, lots of nice boosts in Archer class. And we'll have a good old fell banner for this. +2 yellow, +1 purple, -1 green. But if you pop in the Ruby Macaque, as I suggested, if you've got it, then you will have to change that banner for something more viable towards that weapon. Right, let's do a few battles then. Let's do a couple of low level ones, then we'll jump forward to when things start to get a bit more tricky. There's that potion of explosion. We're ready next round with the weapon anyway. Atlanta's charged up. Kaboosh them all out with there in a single wallop. Victory is ours. Got 3 times Noisha's on for this to boost up the power of our team. Let's just do this one, then we'll jump forward, because these low levels are not really worth showing, to be fair. Very straightforward. Let's get some... Well, the weapon's ready next round anyway, so... Have we got anything for purple? For Atlanta? Not really. Might as well get that anyway then. She'll be up next round regardless because of the Potion of Enchantment, so she'll just wipe everybody out again. And enough of that malarkey, let's jump forward to some harder levels. Jumped forward a little bit to stage 4 where we get 2 towers start appearing now, but very much easy and straightforward still. And let's just get them explosions, charge up the weapon, cast the weapon. Oh, they took away a bunch of our blue, never mind. That's right, still plenty of mana. What you can do from here is soften everybody up with Atlanta and finish off with Red Charlotte. Remember, she does extra damage versus towers. This is going to work even if you're a newer player. And then with Red, of course, there if she gets charged up. So very nice indeed. When we cast the weapon, remember we get all those status effects to the rest of the team at the same time. Look for the explosion to see what we get. Weapons up ready. Oh, look at all that blue. So much mana, it is nuts. And let's cast that Atlanta again. 2 enemies down. If you want to finish somebody off because they're nearly ready to cast, like that first tower there, you can. Kaboosh! Charge up the team again. Red Charlotte's up next round anyway, so it's not going to be an issue. And we can finish them off with whoever we like. Let's give Red Charlotte the glory, shall we? Forward a bit more, and now 3 towers have started appearing. This is maybe where it's worth popping Red Charlotte to the top, because she's going to be doing all that extra damage versus towers, and we get rid of the first troop and the rest are going to be towers. So very useful for that, and she can obviously do that extra damage directly via her spell at the same time. And if you got unlucky and somehow lost her, then we're going to get a summon with this anyway, so should still work an absolute treat. Atlanta becomes less usable the further you go into this. You're going to be just concentrating on our 2 siege breakers to do the majority of the damage. She'll still do a bit. You can actually, if you get lucky like that and get charged up straight away, you can just bash someone out of it absolutely straight away. See you later to you. Weapons up next round anyway, so have we got any brown or red for Charlotte? No, we'll grab some of that then anyway. No worries. Right, so this is what I was saying about Atlanta. Even at my level, I'm not going to be taking out that top troop straight away. But we can cast this, do some extra damage, see if we get lucky. There we go. Now we can just use 2 siege breakers to finish off the towers. If you get a skull hit, happy days. If you don't, the skull damage, or the spell damage rather, will be enough. A lot of the time anyway, obviously. It will vary from player to player. But either way, still a very good way of doing lots of damage to these enemies. We'll grab some of that because it's there. Look at this, we can just kill someone straight away. What extra damage versus towers. And we can soften that top troop up with our Atlanta. Charge team up with this while giving status effects. And we've got a skull hit there. All the extra damage from Red Charlotte. And finish off with the new Siege Breaker troop. Yeah, so pretty straightforward. Right, let's make this the last one. See how this is going to work. Very straightforward. Oh, we got a Valraven popped in. So let us grab some of that. Let's do some damage on that. Make sure we pick it up straight away. And now it's just any skull hits. 5 times damage if you've got a Siege Breaker and Ascended. If not, she'll just do direct damage anyway. So yeah, very, very cool and groovy. To me anyway. Let's cast Atlanta, give her a little bit of glory. Soften them up. Charge team up with the weapon. Any sort of skull hit or damage will do from now. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Next up, the Underspire team. Let's have a look at this. I am going to use a Ruby Macaque in this one because it's simply the best choice from what we have available from the weapons. But if you don't have that, there are some other viable choices as well. Ocean's Protector will be decent and very good on the later levels when the enemy gets really strong. Eliminating all armor from an enemy and gaining life equal to armor eliminated, and submerging all allies, which keeps you safe from those damage to all troops as well. So that's very nice indeed. The weapon we've got today won't be too bad. Not too much damage though, and it only hits 2 enemies, but it is boosted by rogue allies, so better than nothing. And yeah, but that is a good choice, but I do like the idea of Ocean's Protector later on. But I'm going to roll with good old, where is it? There, the Ruby Macaque should be absolutely superb for this. Now, this does a true damage to all enemies based on your magic, then creates 3 booty gems and explodes gems, so can self-charge at the same time. And we're going to have a Shocktopus in here as well, kind of like a poor man's Grey King in a way. Destroys 8 gems of a chosen colour, very similar to what the Grey King does. Then deals true damage to each enemy of that colour. Again, very similar to what the Grey King does, just we don't get the silence, etc., the other effects that the Grey King does at the same time, but still really, really effective and true damage, which complements the Ruby Macaque at the same time. So not too bad at all. Skylar, Scylla, whatever you want to call her, is here. Creates a Bone Storm on 4 or 5 gem matches, which she would do if she shook her hair out of the way, dressed like that. Does damage to the last enemy with a chance to kill them and submerge all other allies. But the Bone Storm is going to be effective in this because we're going to be an Archer class. And we have a 15% chance for skull damage to be lethal. As well as that, in this class we can start with the enemy Root Trapped, entangling the first enemy at the start, which keeps us safe from any skull retaliation. And we can have some other stuff as well, which is all not too bad and fairly useful, like Dodge and Thieves Guild. Scurvy Sea Dog is here simply for that fast start. Start battles with full mana, transform green to blue, which if that appears and we charge up our Ruby Macaque, we can do damage absolutely instantly. Maze Banner, absolutely fantastic for this. We get a 50% start, +3 red, +2 green, plus -1 purple. I know Skylar Scylla uses purple, but it doesn't matter. That's just one thing on a troop we're not going to cast very often, with +5 benefits on everything else. That is just absolutely superb. So let's jump in and do a few battles. I'm going to look for that straight away, remember, transforming green to blue. If we get it, good stuff. If we don't, who cares? Green to blue, we got a few matches there. It's not a 4 match, but hey ho, got us charged up anyway and can boost them out of there in one mighty great wallop. And as you can see, it did actually self-charge again, so if we didn't kill the enemy outright there, we would have been ready to cast absolutely the next round. Get your free lantern from Mr. Longhead Funny Hat. Not his official name. And onwards and upwards. Or across, in this instance, as it turns out. So green to blue is happy days up the top there. Look at that. This is going to be lightning fast. All those skulls coming as well afterwards. So on the later levels, if they did survive, got all that skull damage. With a 15% chance to just auto kill at the same time. Come on then, Mr. Frostfire King. With your funny ears. Green to blue on the right hand side, look. I'm not even going to bother collecting that 4 match. Can't be bothered. Don't need it. Take your 4 gold and keep it. Go and treat yourself to a coffee. Whoever was going to give me that gold. What am I talking about? I don't know. I think it was 5 gold anyway, because it might have been a 5 match. Getting all technical on it all. Green to blue. We'll get that anyway, see what happens. And that. Yeah, now we've got it here anyway. Kaboosh. All that out of there. This is going to be a nice, straightforward Underspire, I think. Let's just do a couple more battles. Ooh, we've got Web Spinner. But these are at the bottom, which makes it kind of silly. Should be up the top, really, just to benefit from that extra style damage. There's the conversion. There's the damage. Yeah, this is going to be lovely, chubbly. Alright, let's do one more. We can see how this is going to work. Very nice, quick team indeed. And we've got green to blue again. Wow. Wow, it doesn't get much easier than that. But there it is. There's the videos for today. If you enjoyed this new format in general, let me know what you think of it in the comments. Makes it like good all round. I don't have to overwrite videos a couple of hours later with another one, which is an advantage. Of course, views may not be quite as high because people like to view the individual ones separately, I suppose. But we'll see. It's a bit of an experiment and we'll see how it goes. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching. Catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.